Yeah, I just want to say good morning, good evening, or excuse me, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're located and depending on what time you're listening to us. My name is Gatsby,
Yours truly, Royal Row.
and you're tuned into the latest edition of Say of the Week, brought to you by your guys at State Your Claim. Before we get into everything, Royal, I know you want to tell everyone three really, really important things, so talk to them.
Please, I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. But just make sure you do those things for us. Please.
Just like that wise man said. And Royal, things definitely heating up this summer. I know we're kind of transitioning to fall, but there's a lot that's going on. So let's jump right into it. So, um, you know, we always had this relationship with resellers and big brands and here we are again, with another big fiasco, another big issue centered around the Nike Memphis distribution center. And I will tell you, this is not the first or the second or the third time that there's been a scandal here. So it kind of seems like, well, what else is new? But here to talk to you about the cool kicks and the Nike Memphis distribution center scheme. So just so you all know, you've probably been reading this online over the course of the last 3 years. Um, the government has really looked into this well intricate operation that involves not only Cool Kicks, which is an online and brick and mortar reseller in LA, but other resellers out there. So, just so you all know, federal grand jury has indicted 12 people, including Cool Kicks co-owner Barack Abraham, as well as major resellers, about um, an internal 2 million cargo theft conspiracy. So the operation ran from July 21 to June 24 out of Nike's Memphis distribution center. And when I hear about the Nike distribution center out of Memphis, I think about a couple of things. Most notably, I think about Marcus Jordan and Trophy Room from several years ago, these employees taking materials, shoes, reselling it to other people. So to me, it's kind of like what else is new? But what you all should know about it is that there's been over 3,100 shipments that were pretty much illegally rerouted uh, outside of these warehouse docks. So they were having these faulty labels. If you've been doing your readings about it, and essentially, Cool Kicks allegedly, right, and other resellers were handpicking what type of Nikes that they wanted, having someone inside the Nike facility, so a Nike employee or employees working with not only Cool Kicks but other resellers around the U.S. to identify shoes they wanted. So what's happening is that these shoes are getting rerouted to some of these reseller shops and not to the doors that people have spent their money on. So if you're wondering why you didn't hit off of sneakers for these last couple of years, this could be one of those reasons. And I'll just say this, listen, the sneaker game, like anything else, is not clean. It's not all the way clean. Where there's an opportunity to make a lot of money, there's going to be a little bit of a dirty business in it. Um, but I'm just like, damn, here we go again. And I guess my thing is, what can Nike do to actually get in front of this? So I'm really not surprised by this. But this is a pretty large operation. Anytime the feds get involved, shit is real. What's your take on it? What's your thoughts?
Um, for these NIGGAS are dumb. That's my take. Like they had the so the UPS boxes and slips. They used a Cool Kicks account to reroute packages. You couldn't just make up a fake LLC and then just open up a new account. You had to use your company account to reroute stolen goods. How much dumber could you be? You're sending someone hundreds of thousands of dollars. How dumb could you be? And then to make it even worse, you're stealing thousands of dollars worth of Nike products, and you think that they don't realize that this is going missing and they're gonna look for it. They're just dumb. They're just dumb. And then they just Nike just sitting there, just waiting, just building a case on them. I'm like, yo,
Well, it's funny you would say Nike is, but Nike was a part of it because their own employees were doing the shit, right? Their own employees were in on it, letting
well,
them know where
well,
that,
that's
that's
not that's
that's the
Nike's
truth.
not in on it. You can't say they're in on it. They're not in on it.
But if
That
but
is,
if they're employees that are
bro.
employed with Nike, then that means that Nike was a part of it.
They weren't a part of it. What is embezzlement?
Look, all I'm saying,
Now I'm
all I'm
saying, what's
saying,
embezzlement?
we know that. We
So
know
that's embezzlement. You
I
can't stop
agree.
embezzlement. Embezzlement can happen on Wall
All right.
Street, bro. They're
Listen,
not
listen,
Nike's not in on it.
listen. I'm just saying that they actually had employees there. So I'm saying, what are they gonna do about this?
What
Because
is Nike gonna do about it?
it looks bad on them. It looks bad on them because their
Well,
own
what's
employees are on this shit. So you can't sit here and say that at some point they didn't have anything to do with it. Their own employees. Their own employees were
no, I
doing this
mean,
shit.
no. I mean, no, when you have a business and you have something, a product that a bunch of people want, embezzlement happens. People at Best Buy let people steal laptops. People at all types of businesses do all types of things. People at retail stores, they'll give people discounts. You see it all the time. People at Walmart, those little videos that be on YouTube, and they're like, oh, this person was doing fake returns and stuff. That happens when you work at a business where money is exchanged or you have a product that's of value. That comes along with it. People are going to exploit the systems or the products of a company. That
That's
doesn't mean
true.
that the people up top aren't into it. They're not.
I'm not.
That comes with the game. But what can Nike do about it?
I'm not
They
talking
let
about people
people.
at the top. But
I
go ahead.
mean, this it's to be honest with you, it's nothing they can really do. They make the thing is they make millions of sneakers a year. Thousands are gonna go
Of course
missing.
they do. Of course
Thousands are
they
gonna go missing. It's nothing they can do. The only thing that they can do is when they have a case like this, they see to it that the people are prosecuted to the furthest extent of the law and set an example. That's the
for
only thing
sure.
they really can do because it's
But
going to
it
happen.
keeps happening though. It keeps happening though. So and things keep happening out of this distribution center. So at some
I mean,
point
it's
you
not
got to
even just that.
yeah, yeah.
Not to cut you off. It's not even just the
Right.
distribution center. They
Yeah.
had a they had an employee in a whole nother office part of Nike that was making fake invoices.
Right.
And Nike was paying it because they have so much money to spend. They didn't even notice it until, they do their audits. Like, it's nothing you can do. This is a billion-dollar company. So let's take this for example. Imagine, we probably don't know this, but imagine how much Apple products are stolen a year from
Signif-
people at Apple stores, from retailers like Best Buy. Imagine how many Apple products are stolen. What is Apple going to do? Stop selling them? But the only thing they
nah,
can do is
that's
prosecute. I
that's
know
not
you're
the
not saying
point.
that, but I'm saying the
That's not
only
the
thing they
point.
can do is just prosecute people to the furthest extent. You can't keep a watch over it. People are going to find a way. You close the back door, you
And
close
it's
the
a
front door, they're going to go through the ceiling. You close off the ceiling, they're going to
and
go
it's
through
an
the side
Apple
wall.
problem.
You
And it's an
close off
Apple
the front,
problem if it
they're going to go through the
happens, right?
basement.
For sure.
Yeah,
So that means that it's a Nike problem. So they need to figure this shit out. I know, listen,
they
that's why
can't.
I listen, try to. Maybe they can't do it, but damn. And the crazy thing, Royal, I'm just looking at some more notes here, is that the only reason why, or one of the major reasons why they got caught was there was a bad winter storm in Memphis
Mhm.
over the wintertime, right? Where this cargo sat for a couple more days. So one of the employees said, wait a minute, shit seems a little bit funky, right? So again, this going on for almost 3.5 years. If this storm didn't happen, probably keeps going on, right? And it's just a bad look because people already feel like they don't have access to shit. And then something like this happens again, right? Yet again, this is a problem. You know what I mean? So look, I don't work for Nike. I shop Nike. I shop other brands. It's not really my issue, but
I
for the
mean,
people,
so
for the people, go ahead.
So I'm
Go ahead.
gonna put it to you like this. That's a
Mhm.
distribution center, right? Memphis is one of the biggest distribution cities in America. That probably is the biggest distribution city in America.
For Nike.
So
Yep.
once Nike once Nike sends it to the distribution center, it's there. It's out of corporate's hands. It's there. Even though you are so let's say we still
Their
consider that corporate.
distribution center, though.
Let's say we still consider that corporate, right? It can go to FedEx and never make it. It can go to UPS and never make it. It can get put on the train, leave Nike headquarters, get put on the train, and never make it. It's going to happen.
Of
That's
course.
part of the retail game.
Of
It's
course.
nothing they can do. It can arrive at JD Sports. It can arrive at Snipes, Champs, Foot Locker, whatever you want to say, and it still might not make it into people's hands. They might steal it. So it's nothing Nike can really do. The only thing they can do is keep making it. And as I said, when they catch these people, make sure that they are prosecuted to the furthest extent of the law. Make it known if you were caught, you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. No
Well,
ifs, ands, or maybes.
that goes
First time, second time, third
that
time, we don't
goes that
care.
goes without saying. That goes without saying, but
But they're
I
not.
s but I still feel like, you know, there's a big problem with the fact that there's, and this is, like you said, this will continue to happen, but it is an issue. It is their distribution center. It is their employees. Shit keeps happening. It's an inside job to allow these things to happen for a number of years. Try and figure it out. That's all I'm saying. They got these GPS trackers that were planted inside those intercepted cartons, right? Tracking those stolen stock that were directly linked to Cool Kicks. I'm just saying that maybe you got to go above and beyond, but this shit continues to happen. So,
I
hey,
mean, bro, it's a product, right?
I get it, but
No, I'm
like,
just saying,
don't
I'm just
just
saying it's a
yeah.
product. It's a
Hmm.
sneaker that I'm just gonna make up a number. It's a sneaker that's $100, right? Retail. And people can get 250, three
Hmm.
hundred for these sneakers.
Yep.
Bro, it's not gonna stop. It's just that's better profit than drug money.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying it's not going to stop, but all I'm saying is that listen, try to figure it out. Try and figure it out. Don't just say, "Hey, it's going to happen."
Yeah, it's
To
hard,
me,
bro.
it's
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 hard.
like to me that's not good enough. That's not good
Right.
enough. People are actually spending their hard-earned money on something that's not getting to them.
I get it,
They,
bro. I
and
get
and
it. I
and
get
and
it.
listen, they already, not me personally, but they already have somewhat of a perception problem amongst people in the marketplace buying shoes right now. So it's just not a good look. It's not a good look. One
No,
way,
I get it.
however you slice it. Anything else you want to talk about on this? You good? All right, cool. All right, so moving on to a completely other realm, but we're talking about people on social media talking their shit, just like you and I do on a daily, weekly basis. So Papa Yang, IG fashion commentator, he does his thing. He posts a lot of critiques. He's at fashion shows. He's out at Fashion Week. And listen, much respect to him because he's worked really hard to get his platform to where it is. So a couple of days ago, he released a reel talking about specifically critiquing how men are choosing to style high end bags.
All right, y'all. Here's another fashion trend that really, really bothers me. Stop wearing purses with streetwear, dog. Please. I don't care how much money I get. I'm not throwing a purse on. Me personally, I'm just speaking for myself. And y'all know I love everybody. But Coco Chanel didn't even make Chanel bags, purses for streetwear. What are we doing? Central C, what? Who okayed this? If I go in a store and I look at this, it's for my mama, my sister, my girl. You know what I mean? Like, yo, why are we meshing this with streetwear? Those two worlds. It like just look at this visually. Does this look good? Young boy, like y'all, you reaching in a purse to grab me $1?
Right. So he had a reel about Central C and he said, "Hey, this is one of the fashion trends that I hate." And he showed a picture of Central C with a Chanel bag, wearing probably a fitted cap, t-shirt, some sweats, and some Air Force Ones, right? So I guess he's on his like streetwear lounging, but
Mhm.
he's being fly with with the Chanel bag. So Papa Yang says like that's a horrible trend. You know, Chanel's weren't meant to be made to be mixed with streetwear. He didn't like it. I thought that that was one take, but then he kind of beelines to say that, and by the way, Chanel wasn't made for men in the first place, and you're pulling out dollars out of your purse, and what are you doing, my boy, and all this. Then it starts to spread like wildfire. You got all these other people coming out here saying that this is what's wrong with fashion, the fact that men can't enjoy fashion without being targeted, getting into the whole kind of homophobic type of, vernacular that's out there. And one thing I will say is that I do think initially people started to twist Kevin Papa Yang's take just a little bit. Um, and I feel like people should be able to do whatever the hell they want. Not every look looks good, but I think it's interesting that, he's picking now to talk about this when this has been something that's been done for years and years and years. Um, but I don't know. What do you think about it? People are always saying a man can do this, a man can't do that in fashion. So what's your thought on it?
Um,
Is it much about nothing? Is it just dumb shit or
I mean, it's fashion, so technically there's no rules to it. I don't agree with everything. I don't think everything looks cool,
mm-hmm.
but I mean, it's fashion to give Central C a bit of credit. They've been doing that for years in London. Like that's a part of their thing. Like the whole even having a crossbody, they've been doing that for so long.
Right.
Like that actually came over there. The tracksuits, they call it the roadman. The whole roadman style has been going on for years. Guys just up the ante with designer bags.
I mean, you look at Pharrell, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
even yeah.
obviously he's I'm like, I don't and yeah,
I
there's
don't have
been
a problem with it. It's not particularly my style, but I don't have a
Mhm.
problem with it. If
Right.
that's what you wanna do, cool. I'll take that over niggas in dresses any day.
Hey man, that's something
They can
completely
do
different.
that too. They can do
We
that
do.
too, and
I
that's
mean, we
that if
seen
you
it.
wanna do
We
that,
seen
that's
it.
their choice too.
Right.
Fashion
Right.
has no rules. That's their choice too. So, hey, man,
Like you said, do you, right?
yeah,
Um,
do you.
I mean, listen, they were a lot of people covering a lot of these football players, not American football, but kind of off the World Cup. These guys walk around with Birkin bags, Chanel bags, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Styling them up. I feel like it's fine. I do still feel like we're in this world of a double standard.
Absolutely,
When it
absolutely.
comes to men in fashion, several years ago, it was this metrosexual thing, right? If a man dressed well or if he cared about his appearance, then he's metrosexual, right? But it's certainly a double standard and not hating on the ladies. So just hear me out on this, right? But you know, people talk a lot about, oh, can a man wear this bag or that bag? But, you know, then you have women who are wearing oversized silhouettes, more streetwear silhouettes and all that, and dressing how people say maybe with more masculinity, you know, no one seems to have a problem with that. Maybe people still do, but I don't hear it as nearly as much as what I used to. So, I'm just like, damn, like, let people exist. You don't have to like the shit. Um, but I do think that they were kind of twisting Papa Yang's words a little bit just to kind of get that clickbait. You know, he is allowed to
Why you
have
say
his
that?
opinion. Because then I'm seeing some videos out there about people talking about the history of handbags and men and all that kind of stuff. And I just think that people are allowed to have their opinion, but people will have thoughts on it. You know what I mean? So I just don't think that the basis or his real intent was to really go at, men in this whole kind of like gender ideas of what works and what doesn't. That's just my take on it. I haven't spoken to him. Um, you know, but it happens when you're talking shit every day online, right? You bound to
Yeah,
say something's gonna piss somebody off.
yeah. I mean, Like I said, I don't have a problem with the bags. I really don't care. I've seen worse, a lot worse.
Right. And in terms of the whole clashing of Chanel and streetwear, well, all your favorite high fashion brands have been doing that shit for years, you know?
Listen,
So I don't really know to me, I don't know what the issue is with that.
yo, listen, cause the women don't have the bags and the men do. That's the main problem. But listen, go back. Some of you guys are worried about this bag. I need some of y'all to go back about 5 or 6 years and look at y'all pictures of y'all wearing jeans and get back to me. Y'all worried about the wrong thing.
Talk about that. Talk about that a little bit more,
Some of them had leggings on. Some of y'all had jeans that were leggings. And y'all worried about a guy walking around with a bag.
you know? If he can afford it, let him do his thing.
I'll take a
Who
Birkin.
cares?
I'll take a Birkin.
There you go.
You got the especially the take a Birkin. I'll walk around with that. I mean, I'll use it to travel for me just walking around from point A to point B, walking around to go
Right.
shopping or chilling or I'm
And
going nah, I wouldn't do that. But if I had to go to the airport or something, travel, I'll use that as a duffel.
and and
Even though
and
it's not a duffel, I'll use it as one,
right.
as a carry-on. Yeah,
Right, and folks have been doing this for years. The the Louis
yeah.
Vuitton Speedies, you know what I mean? That keep all that. Like, so what are you saying? Someone can't walk around with
I
one
don't
of
know if I
those?
could I
I
couldn't say
mean,
I couldn't do the Speedy, but the Birkin I can just hold in my
mm,
hand, hold like this. Yeah,
mhm.
but I
I'm just
don't do
saying you've
yeah, I've
seen it
seen it,
for
yeah,
years. You've seen it for
yeah,
years, right? So,
right.
you know, I guess it's interesting timing with all that, but hey, you know, if we're gonna be open minded, then just accept it. You know what I mean? But do you? You got anything else you wanna talk about on that?
No, I'm good. I'm
All
good
right,
on
all
that.
right, all right. So moving forward, Future, one of your artists. Well, obviously a big artist for me, but I know recently you've been like, yo, I don't know about his new album, but with this album rollout, um, he actually is doing a very limited collaboration with CDG, one of the brands that we often talk about. So this time around, it's with CDG Play, and obviously centered around their Converse shoe. So we talked about this shoe being really kind of like that gateway drug to get a lot of people into the brand, something very recognizable. So Future has this collab apparently that it's extremely limited to only 300 pairs globally. I don't know if I 100% believe that, but this collaboration was first released at Dover Street Market Paris for Fashion Week. And I think it really aligns to his latest album, The Real Me, which is available now. A lot of people have a lot of mixed comments about it. Um, so this shoe can be pre-ordered now for $295. Roy, when I looked at this shoe, I just don't get it. I don't see the connection to Future. And I will say this, for someone who has fashion as a part of their brand,
Mhm.
so much like Future, I would wanted to have seen something bigger than just this shoe. Now ASAP Nas had his collaboration with CDG last year, and we went to that
Mhm.
party. And I get that because he's talked about CDG. He's been a lot of ads and all that, but for me, it just seems like a throwaway. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Um, I'd rather have a regular pair of CDG plays before I would go and cop the Future. It just doesn't align. And I feel like at this stage where Future is in his career, throwaway collabs just probably aren't it. It should be something bigger or maybe not do it at all. So I'm curious on what you think about it.
Um, you seen me live in color before?
Okay, yo, for real, you gonna ask me that?
I
Ask
don't know. You
somebody,
might not.
ask, ask somebody else that.
Yo, what is it? Men on film?
Yep.
Hated it. That's all I could think of. Um, I don't like the play sneakers anyways. Like you said,
Mm,
it's a gateway sneaker. I don't care for the sneaker anyways. So, but I feel as though people who do like those sneakers, I think they would love this. But it doesn't make sense to me because they supposedly made such a limited pair. It's like,
who's gonna get 'em?
yeah, who were you aiming for? So
Right.
I don't know.
It
I
and
don't
it
know. I don't like the sneaker. I don't
yeah,
like play Converse anyways.
you know, I like Future. Obviously, you all should know by now that we heavily rock with CDG, in pretty much most things that they do.
Did you
But
like his Lavon? Did you like his Lavon collab? Did you like that?
it was alright. It
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm
alright,
saying.
and I remember back in maybe 2017, he had a collab with, Reebok that actually, aesthetically speaking, wasn't a bad shoe. Um, but yeah, I think we're kinda at this stage with him, as he continues to mature, I just wanna see something a little bit more built out, a little bit
He's not a
more
good collaborator for
to this
fashion,
point. To this point, it really
but
hasn't landed, right? You know
all
what I mean?
duds, all duds.
Yeah, but people would say like he's one of the freshest, you know, rappers out there in terms of how he
We're
puts
not
his but you're right in terms
we're not
right.
denying that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 I get you. I hear you. It's just interesting that, sometimes the people that we look at as being the flyest within the genre, it doesn't translate, well when they actually do business or when they're
Right,
actually releasing product. The one thing
right.
I will say is um Robert Naba. He's a prominent Brooklyn-based contemporary artist. He actually designed the kind of like monster illustration that you do
Mhm.
see on there, right? So shout out to Robert Nava, who's been around for a long time. They're trying to evolve the CDG play Converse silhouette. I don't think this gets it done. Um, yeah, I would have
And
liked to see
especially
something better.
and for 300,
Yeah, yeah, I'm
good
just like,
luck, buddy.
it's like cool, enjoy. And did you like the album? Just for the record, all skips.
No, I wasn't it definitely wasn't all
Okay,
skips,
because
but
I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know.
no, it wasn't all skips, but it was
Mm,
just like,
yeah, I saw your story about about he might that joint got put in the trash can, so that's why I had to
yeah, Ross got put in trash can. Futures, he survived thus far, but I listened to it maybe twice and I was like, I'm good on this.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. All right, anything else you want to talk about with the future CDG play limited
Nah,
collaboration sneaker that I
nah,
know
we
you're
can
gonna get? I'll get you a pair if you need one. All right, I got
yeah,
you.
all right, man. Save your $300. Give it to a donate it to a charity over those.
Okay, yeah, I might do that. I might donate it to Free Band's charity or something like that. So
Nah, but nah, I'm
yeah,
good on that one. We can
all right,
proceed.
that's funny. That's funny. All right, and then last but not least, a brand that you and I both really enjoy, Uniqlo, uh, Brel, Royal, excuse me. So there's a rumor out there that this is going to be the last year of the Uniqlo U-line collection. So for people who don't know, those U-line t-shirts, the Airism t-shirts, the heavyweight t-shirts with the pockets, all under that U branding. This is supposed to be the final season for the fall winter 2026. And the CEO, Tadashi Yanni, reportedly wants to nix this idea. So just to educate people, a lot of people probably don't know that the founder of Lemire actually designs this
Mhm.
collection, right? So Christophe Lemire, along with Sarah Lynn Tran, apparently are exiting Uniqlo after 10 illustrious years. And I would just say people online, they're kind of big mad, because they're like, damn, like these are the reasons why I went to Uniqlo, right?
Mhm.
Is to get something that is fashion forward, that has very clean lines to it, and that's affordable.
Mhm.
So now with this moving out of Uniqlo, I guess people are kind of concerned about like, well, why would I be there? I think there's tons of reasons for me to still shop there. They make great socks, so
Yeah.
they can always get money from me. You know, they make good sweats, a lot of other things that we discuss. Um, but are you sad to see this partnership potentially fold?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a big Lemaire fan, like Lemaire fan. I'm definitely gonna miss the line. It's a lot of clean pieces in there. If you just want something daily to wear,
right.
you don't want to break the bank, you don't want to do too much, you could always rely on that line to deliver and to take that away from people. I'm kind of like, but I guess we got to wait and see what they replace it with. Because they do a lot of conversations. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. How do you feel about the J.W. Anderson line? That's been coming out consistently over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I think it still does its thing. I think a couple of years ago it was a little crispier. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, Sometimes things happen to lose their luster after seasons and seasons. Kind of just running it back. But I still think it's solid. I still,
maybe he
I still think it's solid.
maybe he takes over. I don't know. Or
He got enough
they
on his plate though, bro.
but they have been working with
He's still,
Reso lately.
yeah. This is true. This is true. Um,
I'm
I
not
don't know.
mistaken. He has his own little thing that he's doing. He did a collab with him. Matter of fact, what is it? Francisco Riso.
Hmm.
He's basically doing what Lemaire's doing at Uniqlo. He's doing over at GU. So maybe they bump him up.
And GU is that kind of little brother, little sister
Right.
brand under Uniqlo for people who don't
Mhm.
know. That's supposed to see really wide expansion in the marketplace moving forward. So yeah, that could be the case. Just to answer your question, I don't see Jonathan Anderson doing it because I just think that he's got just so much going on right now. With Dior, still with his, own namesake brand.
Mhm.
He already has his own brand, or partnership within Uniqlo. The one thing I will point out is this might be less about what Uniqlo wants and really the kind of transition of Christophe Lemire as well as Sarah Lynn Tran, because I think what a lot of people don't recognize is that when you are independent, which we talked about last week, and the trials and tribulations that are involved with that, some of these designers they try to find other partnerships to help funnel their brand, right? So, you think about Christophe Lemire, this collaboration has been going on for 10 years. A lot of those sales they're then using to put back into their actual brand. But actually last year, Lemire's namesake luxury brand, actually this year, they're projected to hit roughly 160 million um, uh, pounds in annual sales, which is up from 10 million in the pre-pandemic. So they're starting to kind of get into that space where they have the funds to be able to do the things that they want to do. And I think that it's just like someone who freelances, you have multiple jobs, right? Until the one thing hits and it's really out the door and you feel like it's sustainable. So I've always loved Uniqlo for partnering with other designers as opposed to say, you know what, we're going to take what's hot out there right now and make our own watered down version. I think there's a lot more, a higher level of intention, that goes along with the actual collaboration. But this is just something that they're going to have to address. So I think the CEO of Uniqlo, the people up there, they need to just have their ear to the streets. They need to have their eyes open and see like who the next people. You know what I mean? Who the other people out there who could really lend their ear and their eyes over to it.
Claim your